Get up and go with Dunken and Carly on demand.
Who's ready to have some fun?
Who's ready for some nonstop, totally scheduled fun?
It's the Get Up and Go Show. And today is
Indigenous Peoples Day, National Moldy Cheese Day.
Clean out your fridge today.
Oh, sad. It's also National Kick Butt Day, so kick some butt this Monday morning. Let's go.
Is it kick butt day or is it kick butts day?
Kick butt
Like
day.
stop smoking day.
Oh, we've done this
you
before.
fell for this before.
Yes, we have. No, okay, it's kick butt.
Okay,
like
kick
one
butt
word.
day.
No, what was it? It was like the National American Smokeout Day, and I thought it was
Like, is that when you're
meat?
supposed to smoke, or like, what are you doing here?
I thought it was smoking meat, and it was you're supposed to quit smoking.
Okay, National Kick Butt Day is a day.
To kick some butt.
So, National Kick Butt Day, the website, it outlines some people that have kicked butt in the past. And it makes me feel like a real loser.
Great.
Like there is a Thai youth soccer team that survived 2 weeks in a flooded cave without food and water. They kicked butt. You can do something today, too, is what it says.
I remember that. That was scary.
There's a guy here that climbed Japan's tallest mountain, Mount Fuji.
Nice. Kicking some butt.
He'd been trying it since he was 89 years old. He did it at the age of 100. What? He kicked some butt. You can do something today, too.
Makes my feet seem really, they pale in comparison.
Yeah, I was just hoping to run a couple errands today.
I know, right?
Dunken and Carly on 106.9 KROC.
Let's talk about the lottery. Everybody's talking about the lottery. Got a survey here from Play, Pennsylvania. Top 5 things that people would do with their life if they won the lottery.
They would quit their job. They would move. What do you mean?
Travel is the number one answer.
Okay, yeah, you can't give that to me.
No.
They would pay off their debts.
Pay off debts. Number 2 answer.
They would.
I feel bad because you're not going to get the others.
What?
Sorry.
They would buy their own business. Wow, I'm surprised. What else is on there?
Become an artist is number 3.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know, right? So we got travel number 1, pay off debt number 2, become an artist, write a book number 4.
Okay.
I'm
Nobody
always
cares.
amazed by the people that are like, I'm going to write a book. Nobody cares about your life, dude. Sorry. Like, oh, cool. You won the lottery. Still don't care about your life.
I won $1 billion. Now everyone is interested in me. Like, no, we're not.
And the 5th answer on this survey, play video games full time.
I mean, I would.
Just all right, we don't have $1 billion to give away, but you could win 30 grand. We'll put 30 grand in your hand. Listen for those cash codes coming up throughout the day.
Dunken and Carly in the morning on 106.9 KROC.
So no winner again with the Powerball.
Crazy.
It's up to $1.55 billion for tonight's drawing with a lump sum of $679 million, something like that. Will you be buying a ticket? Not yet.
If I happen to be at a gas station, maybe.
That's my problem, too, is like, yeah, it sounds good, but I'm too lazy to.
I know. I'm not going to roll up to the gas station just for a Powerball ticket, even though it could get me over $500,000. No, $500 million.
Yeah. That's nuts to think about.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't even know what I would do first.
Do you buy a private yacht first or a private island first?
Yes, right. Well, you need something to get to your private island, so you got to buy the yacht.
The yacht first.
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
Michelle, what's the first thing you would do?
Oh, my gosh. Pay off all my bills.
Pay bills. Mm-hmm. That's what most people say they would do if they win the lottery.
Oh, yeah. My student loans would be gone.
The experts say you should stop buying lottery tickets and use that money to pay your bills.
What about me, who buys lottery tickets like max twice a year, and it's a whole $4?
Yeah, so you're not average. According to this report in 2019, so a few years ago, the average American was spending $1,000 a year on lottery tickets.
Holy cow.
That's nuts.
That is a lot.
I think I'm probably around, I don't know, $20 or $30.
Yeah, I'm not.
But some of these lottery tickets now, like some of these scratch offs are $50.
Oh, really?
$50 a pop.
Jeez.
A lot of them are $20 a pop.
Jeez.
Yeah. So Powerball is still what, $2?
Yeah, that's all I'm spending.
So 5 better ways to spend your money other than buying lottery tickets. Pay down that debt. Stash your funds into a high yield savings account, which again, if you're just doing $2 at a time.
It, literally, for me, it makes no difference.
Add the money to your retirement fund.
Can you imagine me going to our CEO and being like, hey, Bill, I need to put $4 extra into my 401k. He'd be like, what the heck?
Excuse me, Bill. Do you think the company would match this? All right. Speaking of the lottery, the Minnesota State Lottery wants you to know if you've played over the last year or two, they have a lot of unclaimed money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, better check those tickets if you still have them.
Who knows? You might have some money waiting for you. You can check out the details on all that unclaimed prize money right now on the 106.9 KROC app.
Celebrity Soundbites on 106.9 KROC.
So we'll start with some serious news.
Okay.
Singer Amaza Gibson, an up-and-coming singer. I've never heard of this girl. She's claiming that Jason Derulo offered her a record deal, but pulled that offer after she refused to sleep with him. He says this is all BS.
Okay.
I wouldn't normally comment, but these claims are completely false and hurtful. I stand against all forms of harassment, and I remain supportive of anybody following their dreams. I've always strived to live my life in a positively impactful way, and that's why I sit here before you deeply offended by these defamatory claims. God bless.
This just came out, so we'll see what happens there.
In other news, Taylor Swift was not at the Vikings game yesterday, which made lots of people very sad.
Were you disappointed? I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of like,
bit.
Oh, that would have been kind of cool for Minneapolis.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. So I was a little disappointed. I didn't watch the game. To be honest, I forgot it was on.
So they made a big mistake, in my opinion.
Did they?
If I was their program director, their producer
Yes,
or whatever,
yes.
I would have been very angry. Like within the first 10 minutes of the game, they said Taylor's not here. So everybody tuning in just to see Taylor was like, okay, back to Bravo or whatever, you know? They should have teased that all game.
Interesting. Yeah. Or just like not say anything and just like leave them hanging. But because of all of the Taylor Swift news happening, there is a video that continues circulating of her impersonating a Minnesota soccer mom.
It's actually pretty good.
I was driving down the road the other day and I was in my van and this deer just jumped out in front of my van and I didn't even know what was going on because I don't know if I swerve, then I might go off the road and hit a snowdrift. And I was just trying to pick up Jimmy from soccer. And I didn't ask for that deer to go out in the middle of the road.
How old was she during that? She was very young.
Was she really young?
I think that's
was it that long ago?
I think it's from like 10, 15 years ago. I think she was really young in it.
It looks like she was in her early 20s at the time.
Okay. So 10 years ago or so.
Still hilarious.
Yeah, very good.
Still accurate.
It's Dunken and Carly on 106.9 KROC.
So I mentioned this earlier. Over the weekend, I was laying in bed, having a hard time falling asleep, and my brain went to a weird place. I started thinking about mating calls. Every animal has a mating call except for humans. Hit the chat button on our app or give us a call, 507-281-2400. If humans had a mating call, what would it sound like? Andrew chatted in earlier and said, hey. That might work for some people. Or some variation of hey. Like, hey, baby.
Oh, my God. Hey.
Constance, she chatted in and said any of the 2,000 cheesy pickup lines out there could be considered a mating call.
Yeah.
What's the worst pickup line you've ever heard?
Did it hurt when you fall from heaven?
Oh.
Something like that. Oh,
So that mating call would not work for you.
no. Oh, God. Dad jokes, okay. But like pickup lines are terrible. Comes from the same vein of humor But they're
the goal is different, and that's what makes
suppose.
one weird and gross and the other one kind of funny.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Shani. What is the worst pickup line that you've heard?
I have blue eyes, so a guy would look at me and say, "I want to swim in your eyes." I just think that's creepy and
That's
weird.
gross. Yeah, that is all sorts of weird. Kevin chatted in female mating call. Oh my God, I'm so drunk. Accurate.
So terrible.
Good morning, Hillary. All animals have a mating call except for humans. What would a human mating call sound like?
When we whistle, would that be like a waiting call? Like that?
That's a good one.
Like a cat call, like a whistle?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what's sad is this guy doesn't know how to whistle, so I would never get lucky.
You wouldn't make it if we were wild animals.
I would be like, why isn't it working?
News or snooze with Dunken and Carly on 106.9 KROC.
Coke has created a new flavor using AI. This flavor is called Y3000 Zero Sugar, and it tastes like cherry cola mixed with cotton candy.
Side note, I did the same thing over the weekend. I didn't create a new flavor of Coke, but I used ChatGPT for a recipe.
Oh.
Because I said, here's what I have. Make a recipe for me.
Ooh, that's
this
a
beef
good
and
idea.
broccoli squash. That was amazing.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Going in and being like, wow, this is all I have in my fridge. Oh, genius. Look at you.
I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. So I'm like, I need help, computer. So what are people saying about this new Coke?
So people have rated it 8.5 out of 10 stars. So pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. And it's available in multiple countries, including in the U.S. So we can check it out for ourselves and see what it tastes like. Minnesota's most haunted hotel is hosting ghost tours this month. Do you know which haunted hotel I'm talking about? Because we do have multiple.
I don't know. It's not the Kaler.
It is not. No.
It's not the St. James.
No, it's not.
Is it the Palmer?
The Palmer House. Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
I don't even know where that one is, but I remember reading about it.
That one is in Sauk Center.
Okay.
So a little bit north of St. Cloud.
You go and you take a tour and you see some ghosts. Ghosts guaranteed? They never guarantee the ghosts because ghosts don't exist, people.
Wow, party pooper, man. Yeah, so they are offering some tours if you wanted to head up to Sauk Center and check out the Palmer
That
House.
stuff's kind of fun if you're like a history nerd like I am. Because you get the backstory of the hotel, right?
Yeah, even if you don't believe in ghosts, if you're a history guy, then yeah. Their first tours are being offered this Friday the 13th. And then they're offering them Saturday, the following Friday and Saturday, and then the weekend of Halloween. And finally, there is a rare penny worth $300,000 that you may have just hanging out in your house and you wouldn't know it. So this penny, well, there's multiple of these pennies. They were made from steel instead of copper back in 1943. So they stopped making these pennies in 1944. So they were only in production for a year because of the copper shortage during World War II.
Okay.
And they resumed producing the pennies using copper in 1944. But there are still some of these steel pennies out there, of course. So if you have a penny that has a 1943 date on it.
So it does have like a silver look to it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
But it could easily get in with your jar of change
and
and look like a dime.
Oh, sure.
Or a nickel or whatever, right?
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you have some change just laying around, maybe dump that out and go through that today.
Desperately go through it.
Yeah, and see, because it's worth $300,000. So definitely worth it.
Okay, you can read more about that penny and get more local news right now on the 106.9 KROC app.
Dunken and Carly in the morning on 106.9 KROC.
There's a woman going viral on TikTok right now because she spent over 8 hours inside of a CC's all-you-can-eat pizza restaurant. She spent $8.50 to eat all the pizza you can eat. And then she also spent $5.50 on a soda And then she tried to spend as much time in Cece's as possible.
Playing arcade games, going
Hanging
back
out.
to eat.
Getting some more pizza.
Eat. That's
More arcade games, eating more.
Don't you have a life, lady?
And then she got kicked out because an employee came up and asked her to leave.
You have to ask me to leave because you've been here for longer than 2 hours. Oh. Yeah, they just made a new rule.
They just made a new rule. The manager was like, we got to do something to get this lady out of here.
New
this
rule.
Is ridiculous. Yes.
Official, get out.
Hilarious.
I've always kind of wondered that, though. Like, if you had the appetite and you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, can you just sit there and eat all day?
Probably not.
Well, obviously not at Cece's.
My dad told me a story one time of him and his buddies in college going on a road trip for spring break. And they stopped at an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they were just eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. And eventually the manager came over to them and was like, you need to leave. We're losing money on you guys. You got to go.
We have one of our corporate coworkers, Kelly Quinn.
Yes.
He one time told me the story about being in college. First time he ever went to a Golden Corral. He said he got drunk on the food. Because he ate so much of it.
Yes.
He literally ate for hours there. Went out to his car and he felt like dizzy. He's like, I can't drive.
That's
like he was driving.
so funny. Oh my God.
What's wrong with people? All right, check out our app right now for the best buffets in Minnesota. And let us know. Hit the chat button. Let us know your favorite here in Southeast Minnesota.
Dunken and Carly, weekday mornings on 106.9 KROC.